All right, welcome back. Dallas is pick us in, but before that, the San Francisco 49ers with number 14 took Javon Kinlaw, a defensive tackle of South Carolina. Denver took Jerry Jeudy, a wide receiver out of Alabama, and Atlanta took A.J. Terrell, quarterback of Clemson. And I do apologize for the delay. I had a problem uploading the last segment, so Dallas pick is in. We're waiting for it to come up on the screen. We're almost halfway home with this, and we're waiting for Dallas' pick to show up on the screen. Matt, what do you think about Denver taking Jerry Jeudy, wide receiver of Alabama? Yeah, there were. Yeah, they have been talking about trying to get him for quite a while, and I think that's why they went for him. So I can agree wholeheartedly with you on that. And we're waiting for Dallas's pick to come in on the screen. We're now more than halfway home with this, and Dallas's selection is about to come up on the screen. And they take C.D. Lamb, wide receiver, Oklahoma. That's who Dallas takes. So, and I think that might have been a good move for him. And the Miami Dolphins are back on the clock now with the 18th pick. Keith, what are your thoughts on Dallas taking C.D. Lamb, wide receiver of Oklahoma? Keith, you there, buddy? Yeah.
In the mid to late round. It's starting to run on the wide receiver class in this year's NFL draft.
Exactly.
It's a very deep wide receiver class this year in the NFL draft. So expect plenty of talent at the wide receiver position.
Yes, it does. You're exactly right, Keith.
Select upon as the draft continues.
Yes, and I agree wholeheartedly on that. Matt, what are your thoughts of the Cowboys taking C.D. Lamb? And I know your brother's not a big Cowboys fan like he once was, but what are your thoughts on the Cowboys taking a wide receiver C.D. Lamb out of Oklahoma? Well, I can agree with that, and I think you're absolutely right. We're now up to Miami back in the clock for the 18th pick. We're waiting for them to come back on the air. And this has really been quite a draft so far tonight, and we only have, after this one, 13 picks left to go in this first round. And but I need to give you the trivia question for this segment. In 1989, Troy Aikman was the number one pick in the draft. Which team drafted him? I have the answer. I'll give it to you in just a little while. Just in a little while, when we're almost halfway through this segment. So just sit tight. You'll get the answer shortly. But this has really been an interesting draft. I really think the Browns made a good move by getting Jedrick Willis, and I think they're going to make some good moves in the second round. They could trade up. They could trade down. Because this first round is really they've already taken Jedrick Wills, as you know, and I just really think that with the they've got the 41st pick in the second round. They have the 74th pick in the third round, the 115th pick in the fourth round, the 187th pick overall in the sixth, and the 244th pick overall in the seventh. Now, they could go either way. They could trade up, trade down. Trade down is more likely, but they may just stay where they're at. But you never know. Anything can happen in this draft, and because they also need an offensive. They've already got they got an offensive tackle, but they need a linebacker. They need an offensive lineman. They do need a left tackle. They need that. But those are a few of the things they do, and they do need to get some backup for Baker Mayfield, and because Baker Mayfield, hopefully we're going to have to see how he does, and he's going to have to prove that he can be a starter again this year. If not, they may have to go to Case Keenum, but we'll have to wait and see on that. And Matt, what are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield with this upcoming season? Because he had a few areas where he struggled, and he just needs to prove that he can be a good starter and really come through for us and get the wins. If not, they may have to go with Case Keenum. What are your thoughts on that? Well, yeah, you're absolutely right, because Mayfield, Beckham, he had some good catches, and so did Landry, but they were not protecting him in the backfield. But you're absolutely right on that, man. I do agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Miami's pick is in. We're waiting for that to come up on the screen. But Keith, what are your thoughts on Baker Mayfield and him having to prove himself as a starter for this year? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, the difference between his first season and last season that new head coach Kevin Stefanski had noticed right away was concerning his footwork. His footwork was not the same as it was in...
Yeah, I can agree with you on that.
As it was in his rookie season in 2018. And that's what he wanted to work on with Baker Mayfield, to get his footwork back into the same type of style, the same type of cadence as he did in the 2018 season. And thereby, that's why you see Baker Mayfield is spending a very quiet off-season, probably working on conditioning, probably working on losing some weight, has been speculations that said that he probably needed to do, and probably hitting the books a little bit more. Let's just hope that the new quarterbacks coach can work with Baker Mayfield on his footwork so that we can receive a return to the 2018 Baker Mayfield as compared to last season.
Yes, and I think we could see that too, and everybody's hoping that we do, and hopefully, I think Miami's pick is going to come up on the screen in just a moment, and we're going to see who they take, because a lot of the tackles are off the board. Offensive and defensive tackles have gone off the board, and Miami is really, I think, looking for a tackle, but hopefully this pick is going to come. Oh, wait a minute. I think we could have a trade up, because it said Dolphins Steelers trade. I just saw something on the screen, and so we'll have to wait and see. We're waiting for the selection to come up on the screen in just a moment. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. Oh, hold on. The selection's coming in on the screen right now. So. And the Dolphins take Austin Jackson up, offensive tackle, USC.
Wow. Now we're starting to, I guess he's getting a run on the second tier offensive lineman.
I think you're right, Keith. And do you think this was a good move for Miami? Do you think it was, Keith?
Yeah, but I heard talk earlier in the week that Austin Jackson was projected to be a mid to late first round prospect.
And I think you're right. I think you're right. The Las Vegas Raiders are back on the clock. Matt, what are your thoughts on Miami taking Austin Jackson with the 18th pick? Do you think that was a good move? Well, I can agree with. Yeah, and I really think I can agree with you on that. And the Las Vegas Raiders are back on the clock, and with the 19th pick right now, we're waiting for that to come in, and they need help in a lot of areas, and I'm going to get back to that in just a sec. But right now, I want to reveal the answer to this segment's Scott Sports 101 NFL Draft Trivia question, which this is going to be the final one of this this continuous podcast for today. In 1989, Troy Aikman was the number one pick of the draft. Which team drafted him? And if you said none other than the Dallas Cowboys, you are correct. Dallas had a superstar quarterback with Aikman. He led them to 3 Super Bowl victories in 1993, 1994, and 1996. Troy Aikman went to USC. And I will have another trivia question on my podcast tomorrow when I do rounds 2, 3, and 4 from right up here in Studio B, my TV room, so stay tuned for that. Now, getting back to the pick. Oh, the pick is in for the Las Vegas Raiders, so we are waiting for that to come up on the screen momentarily. And I have a couple of minutes left of this segment, so we're almost out of time for this one, so I'll have to upload in just a couple of minutes. And this has really become a fun draft to watch. And now the Raiders, they also, I think they're looking for a tackle as well. And I really think that they are looking for a tackle to take in this first round. And we will just have to wait and to see if they will take a tackle or not. And because they did struggle in some areas this past season. And now with the Raiders being in Las Vegas, does this bring the Raiders better luck this season? It's hard to say. Keith, what do you think? With the Oakland Raiders now being renamed the Las Vegas Raiders and being in Vegas, does this present better luck for the Raiders or not?
Well, I think that the Raiders be located in Las Vegas for the first time in their historic franchise, it seems to be trying to be, as we excused upon, looking for a bit of lady luck to solidify their chances as a legitimate playoff contending team. They were fell a tad short last year to qualify for the playoffs. And thinking by relocating to Las Vegas and getting some help on the defensive end and maybe getting some wide receiver help would be just enough to get them over the hump to try to see if they can contend for an upcoming wild card spot.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm going to have to cut you off because the Raiders selection is coming in on the screen, and I'm almost out of time for this segment. So I will let you know what it is when we come back. Stay with us.